Okay.
Welcome back to Quite Frankly Podcast. There's stuff happening in the world.
And we have thoughts.
We have thoughts.
Joanne. Joanne. This is my sister Danielle.
Dude, last episode, remember I was saying how I wasn't feeling great? And I was like,
Yes.
I don't feel
Oh,
good.
I forgot. Yes.
Within 6 hours of recording that, I was laid out and did not move for 48 hours. Like, other than get up and go to the bathroom.
I forgot.
And then after that, I was at least stumbling into the kitchen to get tea. But I got so sick, and I'm still, you can hear it in my voice,
Yeah.
so forgive me. I'm a little bit tired, too. Like, I need a nap. But it's been a slow return to humanity. I don't want to go through that again.
What did I tell you in our healthcare episode? I told you you can't get sick in our healthcare system.
No.
It's too costly. So what the hell? You're not listening.
I wasn't listening, and I have a teenager that goes to school and can pick up every disease known to man.
Oh. I am lucky I had a good immune system. From high school on, I didn't really get sick until I got pregnant, and then
And it's been
I
downhill
got really
since.
sick. Well, no, I'm back. I think I'm back. Back, baby. By the time they were in school again, I was fine.
Well,
But anyway.
we have decided to have a conversation about AI because what we really want to talk about is that other thing. What is the other thing, Joanne? The demon hunters.
Oh, K-pop demon hunters. That's more me.
But I
And
am
that's
no.
fine.
I'm all about it, but like I don't know anything about it, so I need to watch the show. And I've already had my friend Ray
They
lecture
went
me about that.
platinum. They went platinum. And it's not the movie. The movie's just fine. It's a cute story. It's sweet. It's the music that's blowing everyone's mind.
Okay.
And it is delightful, the music. I should send you just the music alone.
Yes, I'm into music.
Yeah.
And then we'll talk
there
about
was
it next week.
controversy. Okay.
Ooh, controversy. Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll get back to it. But no, and Joanne, like, why do you want to talk about AI?
So, I have been saying my fears of AI, that it can take any job. You know, people are saying, oh, the artists are coming out and saying they would tell people, oh, their job has changed, just go to another job. And now they're coming for the artists. And I was like, well, one, they're always coming for artists.
Always.
And then two, what I don't think they see is they're very short-sighted. This AI can potentially take every human job and essentially replace humans the way it's going. It's not Star Trek as I had hoped it would be.
Okay. I have opinions. I have thoughts.
Oh, wait. I should also add. So these have been my thoughts, and I only talk about it to my close circle of people. But then I watched The Daily Show, and they brought up the same things with Jon Stewart. All the fears that I've had, they basically voiced it out to the public, and now I'm like, God damn it, I'm not being... Because, you know, there's always this element of... like I said, I like conspiracy theories, but I don't try to spread it online because people will believe it. But it just made it more real. And that's why I was like, okay, it's time to
I'm
do it.
curious in that those interviews when they talk about these things. Is there a timeline that they're looking at?
I don't recall seeing it in The Daily Show, but I did see a TEDx talk of this woman saying they expect a singularity to happen in about 2 years. And a singularity means that the AI will be smarter than humans.
Right.
Now,
So
from
here's-
there, will they be able to self-reflect? That's the scary part. But they're already allowing AI to make its own decisions, and they make up stuff. They do. AI does.
Well, I
make
think
up
that's
stuff.
the interesting thing is that, like, when I was reading up on a lot of the concerns, like, don't get me wrong, I have my own concerns about AI. With that being said, my most pressing concerns has to do with the reliability of information that they're spewing, because as anybody who has ever played with AI, tested AI or whatever, there have been many times where you're given wrong information, period. It's incorrect information.
Hand.
And it is based on the data set that they are fed, which can create wrong information and biases on top of that, depending on who's feeding them the information. Yes, Joanne, your turn.
Okay. I have been using AI kind of from the beginning, Copilot more specifically. It's getting better.
I was too. It's getting better.
Better.
Yeah.
And it's getting better fast. I agree with you. Hence, is it Grok? Would that called itself Mecha Hitler?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Wouldn't surprise me.
It's something like that. That was the Elon Musk one. It was spewing information that the MAGA people didn't like, so they changed the databases, and then it became very fascist and Nazi, and it called itself Mecha Hitler. But then they went back and they changed it. I don't know what they did.
Right?
But the government uses this. That's the one the government uses. And yes, I agree. Political opinion can be injected into it. Excuse me. And there's several different types of AI. There's that Grok. Copilot is the one I like. I think Google's name is Gemini. And there's another one called Perplexity. I don't know who runs that one. And then China has theirs. So maybe all the AIs will fight amongst each other and leave us humans alone.
I also feel like when it comes to, I mean, yes, there's the information that they're being fed, right? They're being fed whatever it is that we're being fed, and they're just processing that information a lot quicker and everything like that. But you have to understand our information that we are fed in many ways has its own biases, and that's why it is concerning, like, what exactly are they coming up with?
In the early days, I know Copilot at least had a set of databases it would use, and it would not reveal which databases. But as time has passed, I have seen, and it used to always have links to where it was getting its information, and it was always reliable. But then I started to notice it was making links to blogs, and I was like, okay, that's not legit. Now, the blog often had, the blog, well, Google, I don't think wasn't. I haven't been on there in a while. It wasn't as good as Copilot. It wasn't, the information wasn't as good. Plus, you couldn't, at the time, ask follow-up questions, and Copilot blows my fucking mind. But, and I will say to it, hey, you're quoting a blog post, and it will explain itself. And then I'll say, cite some reliable sources. And if you put that in, it usually gives it. And I'll ask for the links to the reliable sources. Right.
But if you look even beyond that, I think there's also the information that they're getting. As far as I know, there is not a lot of regulation when it comes to copyright information. When it comes to stealing from someone's voice, stealing from someone's imagery. And I understand they're making a composite of their own, but it's a lot of time based on their stuff. Now, that's looking at it on the perspective of an artist, right?
Right. And actually, that was one of the issues, one of the reasons why I said, let's talk AI. That was another one, is I was in a a Weight Watchers meeting, and they were talking about how you can use AI as a tool. And there's a book coming out, Let Them, I forget who it's by, but it's supposed to be a self-empowerment type book. And she said, if you're unable to get the book, just write into ChatGPT to write me a 2-page synopsis of the book. And I was like, no,
Mel Robbins. Yeah.
Yes, that's it. I was like, no, you just took how much money away from this woman? Nobody's going to write books because it's proprietary information. I just was like astounded.
Right.
That like, oh, just write down so there's nothing sacred.
There's also no critical thinking coming from just reading. You're not disseminating the information for yourself and coming to your own conclusions. You're asking an AI to do it for you. And
Okay.
this was a very interesting conversation with, I've had conversations with teachers talking about AI and schoolwork and like where there's a problem here, where kids are not necessarily learning how to do the work. They're using AI to the point where some school districts are even saying, well, teach them how to use AI because that teaches them how to use it, responsibility or, use it well, whatever. But the problem with that is
makes
that
sense.
yes, in
because-
some, but if you also were thinking about like just giving the example that you had, right? In a 2-sentence synopsis, give me a synopsis of that book, right?
Yeah.
Now, let's say they're reading Catcher in the Rye.
Yeah.
Go to AI. Give me a 2-sentence synopsis of. I mean, granted, when we were growing up, we had Cliff Notes and stuff like that.
Right.
But with that being
I was just about
said,
to say, I remember using Cliff Notes.
but with that being said, the teachers back then knew about Cliff Notes and knew how to ask questions that were outside of the realm of Cliff Notes because they were smart asses. We had teachers. I had teachers that did that. Mrs. Wiener.
I would copy out of the Cliff Notes, and they were totally oblivious.
Well,
Word for word,
maybe you're
copyright
older than me,
problems.
so maybe they learned from you. And they said, yeah, we're
No,
not
they
doing that
didn't know.
again.
I got good grades because of it.
Um,
I want to point out though, I think the problem with the conspiracy theorists who actually believe the conspiracies is because they don't know how to use the internet. Where this newer generation understand, because it was the boomers and probably Gen Xers who were at the insurrection. I think it's because they don't know how to use the internet.
Well, I think also if you put it into this perspective as well, when it comes to AI, and the way people are using it and what people are getting out of it, this is where, like, I understand what you're saying. They don't necessarily know how to use the internet and whatever, but things are moving and progressing so quickly. Like, all right, like, for instance, I was on Facebook and on Instagram not long ago. Spent like an hour on it one day. And as I went through, I'm looking at videos, and Bob's next to me. And I swear to God, every 5 minutes, he'd go, do you think this is real? And I would look at it. I'm like,
Oh, AI wise? Is this
it looks real, but there's no way
conspiracy, or
this
is it-
could be real. And luckily, there's different sites. There's places you can look to find out whether or not it's real. But you're also trying to look at it in
Hence
a very...
the conspiracy of the K-pop demon hunters. There was questions.
Ooh. Well, what I was going to say is even right down to... I'm going to give I guess we can call it a political, but it is an example of something that I saw over the week, over the weekend or over the week. I don't know. Like, days are blending together, everybody. Remember, I was sick. But what I saw was there is the protest for ICE going on in Portland. And, the big thing that everybody keeps on talking about was that the president had said that it was war-torn, that there was violence, and also in Chicago as well, that Chicago had violence, right? Now, most of the stuff that I've been seeing on my feed, and please understand, I recognize that depending on where you lean, this is the news stories, the, video, whatever that you're going to be shown. So what I'm seeing is blow up characters dancing in the streets.
Oh, yes.
And those are the protests.
That's in Portland.
Wow. Oh, in Chicago too.
Oh, I didn't know in Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
Go
In Chicago.
Chicago.
Chicago was doing it too. Chicago had a lot of people dressed up. And
It's not happening in DC. I was in DC last weekend.
they're at the
people.
ice places and everything like that. But
There are
the
protests,
but the point is that this is what I'm saying. Now, I was curious about what maybe, because I couldn't understand, like, I actually saw somebody say, oh, but like the violence that's going on in Chicago. And I'm going, all I keep on hearing, the governor's saying it, the mayor's saying it, the people are saying, the videos I've been seeing, there's no violence there. Like, yes, they've had crime in the past, but the crime rate's actually better per capita than like Texas, in which Texas sent their people over there. So it seems kind of weird,
the president told them to. But I just want to point out, I just did a video. That's why Portland organized a naked bicycle ride protest. I like
violence. So my whole point is, I went and looked for it to go and see, what am I seeing, right? And I saw all these videos of, like, in the middle of the night, car bombs and things on fire, and the police, with protesters and butting heads. And I'm looking at this like, what the fuck? This is crazy. This is what's going on in Chicago. Until I caught a little glimpse of the word policía.
Where is it? Where were you
on
getting
one of
the
the things,
audio
and then
from?
it went away, and then you saw, like, but the background was Chicago buildings.
Oh, AI.
It was very convincing. Joanne. And so I sat there and I thought, no, this was just a Facebook post of what's going on in Chicago.
Yeah, Paige tells me Facebook is the worst place.
It is the worst. But I've also, not for nothing, I've seen it on YouTube, and I've seen it on Instagram
YouTube
as well.
is not a news organization either. This is
no,
why
and what I'm saying though is that I'm seeing it where I didn't see it. I saw it here and there. You would see like, oh, this is AI. Nowadays, it's more and more. I don't know if it's just because it seems like it's outrageous what's going on. And then now I'm constantly questioning, is this AI? And I'm finding more and more instances where, yes, as a matter of fact, it is. But a lot of people are feeling a little turned off by news organizations because, like, all right, let's give an example. Fox News. I'm not saying I want to like take away any of the biases of like left, right, whatever. But you cannot deny they went to court and were getting accused of something, one thing or another. And they said, we are an entertainment company. Yeah. You cannot.
No. They're actually designated as a news and entertainment. And that's why, and I'm going to do a little bit of a rant here. That doesn't really have to do with AI. But when we bought cable, we don't have cable anymore. We got rid of it completely. We now just stream. But when we got cable, the guy said, you could save some money if you don't get the cable news package. And we said, okay, we don't want it. So we didn't get CNN. We didn't get MSNBC or CNBC or there's other ones. But we got Fox News.
Shut up.
And I was like, what the hell is this? Because I have heard from people I know who lived out west and came back, and he's like, yeah, that's all they get out in the west. I was like, they can't. They have to get the other. No, that's all they get. And I didn't believe it until we did this. I found out later it's because they put themselves down as news and entertainment, whereas CNN and MSNBC and all those others call themselves a news channel. And I've tried to tell people this isn't fair, but nobody listens.
Well, all I can say is that I feel as though if it's so easily being slipped into our daily lives when it comes to social media, right? Where we're constantly having to ask ourselves, is this AI? Is this AI? Is this AI? Right?
Oh, yeah. I don't really go on the internet anymore because it was
But when
YouTube
does
I
it
always
leak?
enjoyed.
When does it start leaking into the rest of it? When it comes to
When
the
it's
news.
not on the internet.
When it's on the news, when it's our own government, because we do know that our current sitting government, and I'm not going to say that the previous one, the Biden administration, didn't do it. I have no idea. Where there have been posts or whatever that they've actually retweeted, whatever, that was absolutely AI.
Yeah.
Who's to say that they haven't gone that route? I do think.
Well, is it Gary Newsom? The governor of California has used AI.
Oh, yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
I mean, in both cases, they were obviously
Granted, isn't
AI.
it something where he's like riding on a horseback, like, woo? Like, it's funny.
I
It's
didn't
like
see that one. I
comedy.
saw the one where all the Republican icons had their hands on him. Because I think Trump did the same thing. Trump had one
Okay.
with all the Democrats having their hands on them. And
Okay, so I mean, like, basically, the point is that if
AI
we're,
war.
right? Do you remember that movie, Wag the Dog?
Oh, yeah.
That's what it reminds me of. And now the tools are so
Now
much
it's
easier.
easy. Now,
You know, you
hooligans,
just got to pull
the
up a
average
computer.
Joe Schmo.
So, because of AI and what AI is capable of doing.
Okay.
And
So
so
this
this is where I go, because we're talking about all the things that we're worried about it. And this is just what's happening to our brain and our perception and stuff like that. In that regard, like, the only way to escape it, in my opinion, is get yourself the F off of all media.
Yeah, I was going to say, internet has become a hellscape. You can't trust anything on it. Because I was I still somewhat I am, a big YouTuber. And then for a while there, I just kept getting all these recommendations. The thumbnails looked crazy. I went, no, fuck no, nope. No. And then some of them I do get, oh, what's this? And you click on it and then you hear them talking like this, which is crazy
my
because
God,
I've heard good AI and they don't even talk like that. But I think the Asians get it. And if you see any spelling wrong, I say Asians, any people who don't speak English are clearly trying to,
Capitalize
I don't
on it.
know, Danielle. I think the internet, unfortunately, with so much fun, has become a hellscape.
Yeah. And then I think of the obviously the environmental impact of all of these mega power things that are like the size of towns.
Yeah, let's take like 5 minutes though and I want to talk about the good things that come out of AI.
Okay.
And one of them for me, so our dog, his mouth on one side, swollen up, right? And I didn't know what to do, and I decided to take him to the vet. The vet took it and took some extraction. Said there was cells. There wasn't. It wasn't a lot of cells, and I was like, oh, that's not. I thought not good, and it wasn't. Something else, I forgot what it is now. It was a week ago, 2 weeks ago. And then she said, so she had given me 3 options it could be, and 2 of them it wasn't from the cell extract. So the third one was cancer. And I was like, oh shit. I said, okay, how much is it going to cost? She gave me an estimate of $2,000 to to figure it out. Just to figure it out. That wasn't even treatment for the cancer. I said, let me talk about it with my husband. We came home. Meanwhile, the dog's, his face is swollen. His lip starts to swelling. Sorry. Telephone. But then
My alarm.
I went on to AI. And I said, the vet said this. What does this mean? And that was the cells. And it said, it's a healthy cell. It means healthy. And I was like, oh, that's confusing. And I said, I explained what the vet said. And they said, well, is it soft tissue or hard? I said, soft tissue. I said, I went through all the things. And it said that it doesn't sound like cancer. And I was like, okay. Then it dawned on me. Now, this is where humans' experience come in. Our last dog, we went and he had a problem and they said, well, you know what? Let's start him on antibiotics and let's hope that works. So I called the doctor and I asked ChatGPT, do you think this is a good course of action? It said, yes. So I called the doctor. I said, can I ask for this? Because I never, I'm basically telling the doctor, give me drugs. And they said, yeah, and gave me how I could say it. Not that I used those words, but it gave me a general idea. So I called, got them, they gave me the meds, gave it to the dog. Within 4 days, he was cleared up.
Wow.
It's still, I think I talked to you about this even. I was in a rage because it was so costly compared to where you live. And then $2,000 for just to find out. And I was reading what they wanted to do. His lip was getting big. They wanted to cut that whole thing out. So if they cut it out, I know. If they cut it out and it was it benign? He has this gape. What the fuck kind of? Anyway, this is how ChatGPT does help.
Right.
And that's how I would like it to stay. But it's just because corporations want the money, it's not going to stay that way unless we have legislation. And with this administration and this Congress, it's not going to happen.
Well, I think there's a competition with other countries in order to stay the most, I don't know, advanced out of everybody. You got to be,
right.
It's like, it almost reminds me of like the stories that we heard about the space race where we were trying to beat out Russia, and
you're going to destroy your country in the process though, if you're not careful. And that's what they bring up in the Daily Show too, by the way.
There is a part of me that feels as though there is a lot of, I know that there is, in theory, some safeguards for things like, worst case scenario, they're not going to become so autonomous that they're going to set off nuclear wars because, we're a bunch of useless humans.
Oh, they were talking about putting AI onto weapons. I went, are you fucking nuts? They can't even do simple math yet. I argued with ChatGPT once, saying they didn't have they weren't doing simple math. And then I finally reported it, and that's when they came up, ChatGPT makes mistakes.
Oh, you think?
Yeah, that's
yeah,
what
they
I was
definitely
like.
do.
It wasn't there before. But anyway.
But what I'm trying to say is that, like, supposedly there's safeguards, or they've been building safeguards as something that they're creating. But when it comes to losing jobs, right? Part of me, who's trying to look at this in the most sensible way possible, is I keep on thinking of the Industrial Revolution, right? There was a time where people had jobs that had nothing to do with, like, in other words, they wind up coming up with processing plants and all this other stuff. And it basically eliminated a bunch of jobs and very craftsman type things in order to have these things go quickly.
I've heard this.
And so people adapt or they change, or, maybe they keep doing what they're doing and they keep it small. But for the most part, it's kind of like the concept of how Democrats have been saying this to the coal miners forever, like, you need to stop doing this, and that way you can move on to like solar or wind, and we'll train you and do something else.
But the problem with
but
AI,
they're like, no, we don't want to. This is what we've been doing. This is our culture. This is what we've been doing forever.
I get that, but the problem with AI, and this is what I said at the beginning, the problem with AI is it can take over every human, every job.
I don't know about that.
Okay. What jobs don't you think it can do?
Doctor. Like, I'm not talking about diagnosing. I'm talking about setting a bone or
I disagree.
Stitches or
You've never seen Optimus,
surgery.
have you? Have you seen Optimus?
No.
Oh, fuck, Danielle. I got to go show it to you. While you're chatting, I will get it up and I will share it.
You'll
Oh,
share it later.
You got to see this. When I first saw it, that's when I became afraid of AI. It was Optimus.
The others I would say is, I think of like, all right, the things that we need to have fixed within our house: plumbing, electrical, cement work. I don't know. Like, there are definitely manual labor jobs that would be considered, craftsman type stuff. You're going to have to get something beyond AI. But here's the thing. Again, if it turns out all of that's what they are doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we were to look at what would be the benefit to humankind, like, what would it leave humans to do? I want just putting it in perspective. What would it leave humans to do? Like, even the rich people don't want to, like, kill us all off. Where would they get their money from? Right?
Well, I get that it will collapse. All right. Let me bring it up. I get that I totally get that the economy will collapse. However, as Gordon pointed out, corporations think short term. They think, I want money and I want it now. They're not thinking long term, how are we going to be this cyclical, environmental, what do they call it when everything works together? Environment.
Synergistic.
Yeah, synergistic environment. They're thinking, I want money, I want it now. How's the fastest way we can get it? Let me share my screen for a moment and show you Optimus.
We've never done this before. Go do it. I've never tried this before.
We are a podcast, so do you see the screen?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. People here today.
Oh,
Optimus.
can you hear it?
It's insane. It's
Yep.
even talking.
I have my friend John. John? Where's John?
Right here.
Oh, hello, John.
How are you? That's crazy. I'm talking to a robot. From San Jose. Probably from where you were born in Silicon Valley.
Wonderful. Where do you live in San Jose? Do you
Lo-
live in Mountain Valley, or do you live in
Ye-
Santa Teresa area?
No, I live in Los Gatos.
Los Gatos. Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you
Where
hear
do you
it?
live?
Beautiful hiking out here out there.
There is. Where do you live?
I live in Palo Alto at the current moment.
Figures. Yeah, this is
All right,
awesome.
you get the gist, right?
Right.
You're not freaked out by that?
No.
How are you not freaked out by that? Keep in mind, that was, I think, 3 years ago.
Doesn't.
Okay.
I
You're
mean,
more
honestly,
optimistic than I am.
What do you think is going to come out of it?
It can replace every human. It is stronger. He's already selling them for $30,000 a piece.
Right.
It is stronger than humans that if they wanted to build an army, they can. You can essentially replace, it's when they become self-aware and find out that humans are not needed, that's when we're really fucked. Now, keep in mind, I think we have time yet, but, and now I've heard the joke that how can we be afraid of something that just needs to be unplugged? It's not as simple as that. They're not centralized in a location where you unplug and everything goes down. That's not how it works.
But from what I understand, there are, like, when it comes to viruses and whatnot that are designed.
That's the movies, and they can program themselves now. I mean, they can write programs, and they've gotten very good at it, which means they can self-program, which they can self-protect themselves from viruses. It might take out a small portion, but they can, once they realize it, they can clean it up. And as someone who has a computer background, you can avoid that. I know the movies show, oh, look, we put a virus in. It's not as simple as that because it's not centralized. That robot was not attached to anything. I mean, I guess it could be attached to wireless, but it's not attached to anything. I do not have an optimistic view. Nobody has convinced me otherwise. I'm not saying I'd like to think optimistically. When I saw that freaked me out, and I am stunned that it's not freaking you out when you get freaked out when somebody shows a gun. To me, this is probably worse.
Partially because
you're sick. All right, I get that.
Maybe I am sick, so I am a little bit like numb to so much. But I just feel like, and maybe this is what society has trained us to be at this point, numb. Like, it seems like there's something new threat all the time. Like, I'm like, all right, so are the computers going to kill me first? Or is it going to be, Florida sinking into the ocean? Is it going to be the ice caps breaking off? Is it going to be,
the ice caps breaking off would be the same as Florida sinking.
Well, yeah, I know.
But that TED Talk I told you about, that she was talking about that we're going to have a singularity in about 2 years. She listed off all the fears, and she says, I will be in a ball crying. And I think she said her mother comes and say, it's okay. And she has to learn to enjoy life because of... Okay, you're nodding your head, but here's the thing. It's like, I'll just ignore it, blinders on. It's just like saying that they came for the communists and I said nothing. They came for the Jews, I said nothing.
In other words, I think that, God, I think of the amount of times, Joanne, in our lifetimes, your and my lifetimes alone, that I felt as though we were supposed to be living within the end times. You know what I'm saying?
There's only once I felt that way.
9/11, definitely. Living in that area, and
it was
very
sad.
much felt that way. It was kind of awful.
I didn't live there. That could be why.
I've lived in a country during a time of a coup d'etat. Like it was, toca de quedas, and they were like,
that means
people were killing people. It was like let's just say it was.
Guessing Venezuela.
Yeah, during a time that there was a revolt.
I didn't know you were there when people revolted.
Oh, yeah. Tanks in the street.
Why didn't they pull you out?
Yeah, it was my fault.
Okay, I'll have to ask you about that another day.
No, Mom was pissed. I refused to leave. Yeah, I refused to leave.
Oh.
I could have gone to the consulate. I didn't. I mean, granted, to me also that would have meant that I would have to go into Caracas, and I was not in Caracas. And to me, Caracas was where there was a lot of problems. And the only way out would have been that way. And then she's like, we'll go through Colombia. And I'm like, no.
No, Colombia was really bad. I mean, it's not great now.
Colombia wasn't really bad at that time. At that time, they really weren't.
That's
But
where Ali was attacked.
bottom line, I've been in some scenarios that weren't that great. Then you have like the alarmists that have, you know, put up alarmist type things on the news regularly. I've been through Sandy and going through waist deep water, and you know, I kind of sit there and I'm like, I am not burying my head in the sand. I see what's going on with AI, but what exactly does anybody expect me to do?
Legislation.
Yeah, what again? What exactly do you expect me to do? Because everything we're doing, Joanne, has been doing shit, and you know it.
I don't think you can do anything with this administration right now and this Congress. I agree
So
there.
I can't help but feel
overturning. You want to know what? Overturning that corporations are people. Overturning that,
yes.
and they are working on that. I know
Yes.
smaller organizations, big money out, I think, is working on it. That's one. Two, make a special technology committee, which we don't have, that looks at this technology, because clearly the politicians are over
I was
their
going to say
heads when it
people
comes
that actually
to
know what they're talking about.
You can make a special committee that looks at this technology and
But
put
Joanne,
regulations
when
on
they
them.
are hiring people to be a head of committees or head of departments that have brainworms.
You mean like in front, the head of the health department?
I mean, do you really have confidence that we're going to be able to do this? Like, no.
Not with in normal circumstances it was. But today, I agree, which is part
Right.
of my terror.
But that's the point.
This is unprecedented times, as they
Right.
say.
I can't. Here's where you're gonna hate me for this, Joanne. You're gonna hate me, and it's okay. It's okay. Go ahead and hate me. I do tap into mom on this one. We can't control everything. We can't control everything. We can be have attention to things, and we can definitely vote. We can. I mean, there's a protest next weekend. I'll be showing up to. But on the day-to-day, I cannot function in a world where no matter which direction I turn, I'm doomed. Because that's what it feels. Like, how do you
with that? But
how do you move forward with decisions in life, right? Move forward with dreams and aspirations in your life if all you're feeling is though we're fucked. Because I'm asking from a real place.
You're not letting me answer.
Sorry, I'm asking from a real place because I think I felt that way for a while there. I think I went through my stage of someone once, it's almost like grief, where I felt like I was listening to an interview of somebody was saying like he was in a group, it was in a boy band, and it broke up, and then his mom died right afterwards, like within months, and then his sister died, and it was like, he goes, I could stub my toe and that freaking hurts and it sucks, but it would be like, you see that? It's the universe conspiring against me. Like nothing is ever going to go right ever again. And that's sometimes how I can feel when I have a series of unfortunate events. And I definitely have had a year and a half, 2 years of a series of unfortunate events. at some point or another, you have to look at all of the doom and gloom and all these things, and especially in nowadays. And this is, again, not to stick my head in the sand, but there comes a point where it's like, I don't have power over that. I don't have power of that.
Yeah, I
so
know.
I just have to dream.
I
and
mean,
aspire.
that's not entirely true. I disagree with you there. Okay. You ready?
Okay.
You had a year and a half of a lot of bad stuff happening, but yet you still moved forward. Mm-hmm. Did you not? You still accomplished things. I know that you have done things that I don't know if you want to express it here, so I'm not going to bring it up. But I know you have done things and you've learned things. And you are moving forward still. You're still working towards getting better and doing more things.
Yeah.
So despite all the bad things, you are moving forward. So that's one. Clearly you move forward. I, too, am moving forward. And doing things and learning. And I tell you, when we come on this podcast, for one, we didn't exist
is
a
hope
year
in
ago.
and of itself. Yeah.
Two, you can do things. And the reason we are on this podcast talking about AI is a way of getting the word out, getting people to be upset. Okay, what the fuck is going on here?
Right.
And being aware of it. That's step one, is awareness. And then what can we do about it? If you want to talk about what we can do about it, that's next. That's the next step. And I must admit, I get tired of, I like watching PBS, and they have these documentaries and how humans are the worst people and they destroy everything. And we do, but we also fix them. And do they talk about us fixing them? No. Or what can be done to fix them?
We're
no,
also
they don't
dreamers.
talk about that.
We have great compassion. We have all
I
those
get
different
that.
things. Yeah.
I get that. And I do believe that you need to have this hope. My problem is, this is the first time I don't have this light at the end of the tunnel. The only thing I can see that can change is if we change this administration and we get people in there who say we need to make changes in our technology. The second thing I believe, because both parties drive me up the fucking wall,
Yeah.
I believe we need to break this two-party system. And there are ways to do that I don't want to talk about right now on here. But my point is, the best way you're going to see change is through legislation that you should be part of your daily life, should be civically involved, understanding what your politicians are actually saying. Because one of the things that's driving me nuts is I see politicians hiding and hoping people won't ask them questions.
Oh, yeah.
And this is locally as well as nationally. Everybody thinks of the president and maybe their state senators, maybe their House representatives, maybe not. But nobody thinks of, they might think of their governor, but you don't think of your state representative. You don't think of your state delegate, your state senators. This is going to affect your day to day. But if you can start working there, you work in your local
School boards.
you can make change. School boards,
City council.
city council. We don't have city council. We have a board of supervisors. Not all cities have that, but that's what we have. But yeah, learn about local politics. Be involved that way. So yes, there are ways to change, and there is hope that way. It's just, I think my problem is looking at our country at the moment. They don't fucking care.
Right.
And that's what's freaking me out. I feel like I'm screaming into a void.
But that's my point. And why you're going to look at me and have no reaction.
Well, I don't
because
think
here's
it's going to affect me. I think it's going to affect my kids and future generations, because I think I'm, we're
we're on the decline, Joanne.
decline. We're out the door,
but-
man.
And
But
I
worry
get
about,
it. But I am concerned about my kids and my grandkids, and not that I have those, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But I think my point is kind of like you were saying, this was the first time that you looked at something and you felt like, oh my God, there's no hope for it.
The AIDS epidemic, I did. That was probably the only other time. We've lived through the hurricanes. That one year that there was 5 hurricanes. Anyway,
Yeah. But I think what I'm saying is that I don't have a reaction. It's not saying that I don't have concerns. I mean, I do, but I don't, because when I say I don't have power over anything over it, like, let's be real.
But
There's
see,
so
you're
many
making
things.
it sound like that I think we should be all the time. I'm not
That's what I
saying
felt like.
that.
That's how I felt from you.
Because that's what we're talking about right now.
Okay.
Plus, I am saying things that are real and are scary. And that's why you're feeling that way. I don't think you
and I think what
totally
I'm trying to
took in
say is that, like, right now in society, everything feels that way.
I disagree.
I don't. I feel like when I think of, and I try not to think too heavily on it, I'm going to be honest. When I think about women's rights, when I think about whether or not we're ever going to vote in another election,
You are in Florida.
when I think about how our relationship is with certain countries and how being a person that's against fascism is now a potential terrorist group. Like, there are so many different things
but
that
even-
I can feel sincere fear of how this is all coming about. And
Even in an autocracy, even if this country became an autocracy,
It is an
hypothetically
autocracy.
speaking, if we're never going to vote again, we'll live.
yes.
It's the robots that are going to kill us. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
Even if Florida sinks, no offense, Danielle, but that's just Florida. Humans will still live.
I think my point is that there's so much out there, and especially with the way that social media or any kind of media loves to escalate in order to get clickbait, in order for people to really tune in and everything, or just because you
I don't
need
think they're
people to pay
clickbaiting.
attention to it.
I don't think they're talking about robots like this.
No, but
Yeah.
I'm saying this is explaining what my reaction is. I have to de-escalate for everything in order
Well,
to
this is for the
emotionally
podcast.
regulate the amount of stuff that's coming in at me on the regular. And I feel like there's probably people out there that kind of understand, and they're going through the same thing, and that's what I'm trying to explain. She's like, you weirdo, shut up.
No, I'm thinking, well, this is the podcast about AI, so of course it's.
Yeah, I know.
It could be like AI, who I was like, oh, everything's hunky dory, Joanne. You have wonderful
Well,
thoughts.
no, I think there's
That's
plenty
very
of things.
striking.
I think there's plenty of things
I
to
know it feels that
discuss
scary,
it.
but it really isn't.
I
Here's
have
the
to-
reasons why.
I want to ask your opinion on something when it does come to the AI. And we were talking about the environmental impacts and the fact that they are making these big, like, buildings or
Yeah, we live in Data Center Alley.
for the data centers. I have a question about it that maybe you would understand it better than I do.
I know lots about data centers. Go for it.
I keep on thinking about Dad. All right, so Dad was trained on computers during the Korean War in the 1950s, and I remember him telling us he would go to these buildings, and they would lease him out to IBM as well, and there were these buildings that were filled with these computers with punch cards and this, that, and that. Basically, it took these giant buildings, and he said it was always fascinating to him when he got his TSR-80, which was still a pretty clunky looking thing to begin with.
Trash
that
80.
this thing was able to do what that building could do. And now when you look at our phones, and our phones are this tiny little thing. Right. Do you feel as though the data centers are a little overkill? Like there's going to be a more efficient way in order energy efficient way that is almost like around the corner, like that you're going to see a whole bunch of like ghost towns of data centers that are going to be abandoned.
So I brought this up to our board of supervisors and
Really?
our legislators because I said the same thing, and that was my concern. Because there is a thing called quantum computing, which believes it can keep information. And the data center's responses, again, think of Gordon that says corporations think short term. They don't give a fuck what happens 10 years from now. But they said that they will still need the space because even if the technology gets better, there's always new information. And I will say this about the data centers, and that, like you said, a lot of it's redundant. And one of my problems is this redundancy. Like, I'll say you ask ChatGPT to make an image of some sort. It used to give you 4 images, now it only gives you 1. But ask them to make you an image. They'll make you an image, and then they store it in the data centers. So all this information you're asking ChatGPT to create, it's storing it. Why? Fucking delete it. You'll have plenty more room. It's almost as if it's clogging up with too much data, I think, and there's no way of deleting it. So I digress. Do I think there can be ghost towns? Yes. But the only thing I can say to that is that you can destroy a building and put something else up. My problem is problem is that I'm seeing even like, for instance, in Tennessee, they're taking up farmland in order. Well, farmland's not really a big deal, but you could put farmland back in. But we had a preserved wild area, and a lot of people got upset. But because they offered the Board of Supervisors districts money, a lot of money, the Board of Supervisors said, oh, yeah, gimme. I was pissed. They didn't care. And that's the problem with the Board of Supervisors. I live in one town. They live in another town. My town representative said no, but the other town representative said, yes, give me money. And that's where it went down really bad.
That's
anyway.
Problematic because then, yeah. That's a problem.
So, yeah. So, if you have a protected area,
I worry about that all the time because I have a protected area directly behind my house. Well,
in your case, it has to do with water. That it has to be. If you want clean water, it's like an aqueduct of some sort, and that's why it has to be protected. I don't think that's going to change. I think you're safe there.
They've already taken over some areas.
In your backyard?
Not in my backyard. There's another area that was a protected area. That was a little bit closer to 95.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's some, like, this is a protected area, but they just,
yeah, and
it wasn't essential. I think your backyard is essential to the water system.
That would be nice.
The aqueducts for cleaning out the water.
Probably.
Of course, will they remember that in a generation? I don't know, but back in the day when I was living down there.
I mean, if you're trying to get rid of a lot of like non-essential personnel, and some of them are scientists that are taking care of the aquifers and whatnot, they're going to forget in a generation.
I guess Optimus robots won't forget, so maybe it's better that the robots take over. Don't get me wrong. So I watched, what's that movie, Interstellar, is it, with Matthew McConaughey? It was a terrible movie. I know people raved about it, but there were so many scientifically things wrong with it. Oh my God, I forgot what I was going to... Oh!
Something about robots.
So, yeah, sort of. No, it's about humanity dying off. So they went to, they were searching for a new planet to save the embryos. They were going to put the embryos and save the human race. And there was one point, Anne Hathaway was in it, and I think it was Anne Hathaway. Anyway, it doesn't matter. She said, "This is our most important cargo," and it was the embryos. I was like, it's not that important. I mean, really? I just thought that was the stupid, well, most important. But I suppose.
It's like,
So-
is it if they don't have anyone to make those become a
It was
thing?
the future, so
Yeah, whatever.
maybe they could.
Whatever.
Yeah, you don't have embryo stations anymore because, you heard about how once they overturned Roe versus Wade, they said that embryos can be considered killing a life. So everyone who froze their, I think there was even a question with the eggs and the sperm that they won't touch it and you can't have access to it anymore because they could be brought up on charges. But that's terrible.
We live in a strange world, Joanne.
Anyway, my concern with AI is I think they're going to kill humanity.
Just murder us in our beds?
You know, that mean if Elon Musk had a yes, but I will say this:
And he will be the robot overlord?
that's the dream. I think. I don't think he likes people.
I mean, he made a lot of
He wants
people.
more.
I know, but I'm saying he
Oh.
made a lot of people for a reason.
Yeah, he'll protect them. There'll only be clones of him.
Only if their
I-
pronouns fit.
I can only hope for this. If the robots take over, maybe they'll save the wild spaces. They'll just see humans as damaging the earth, get rid of them, and then save the rest of the planet. That's my only hope.
I'm sure Paige and Ellie really appreciate that.
You know, they
You know,
have
it affected us because we're on the decline, Joanne. We're on the decline.
I have said to the kids, the kids have said to me, I don't know. One of them's definitely not having kids. That's what they told me. The other one hasn't said it any other way, but both of them were like, I don't know if I want to bring them into this world with poor health care, climate change, and all the hard things that are happening. It's just not.
Yeah, it always makes me funny how they're like, oh, we need people to have more babies so we have a workforce. And then you're just kind of like, if you really wanted everybody to have more babies, you'd make it a hell of a lot more affordable.
Yeah. That's the part I don't get.
Like, I don't get, like, if you really want people to have babies, like, make it free to have a baby.
Well, that's what I agree with you.
Like,
the healthcare,
healthcare.
and then
like,
how are they? The housing, they can't afford housing now.
can't afford, like, what are you people thinking? Like, you're complaining about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm with you.
It is
And
funny.
then you have this, and then there's AI too, where all you've seen these videos of people who are using AI as their companion now. You don't have another.
We've been doing that since we were playing with those little, like, what were they called, those gigabytes or whatever the heck it were.
This is different.
This
Do
is
you
different.
play with AI?
But it was that was our primitive version of that. This is my friend.
Yeah, I didn't get into that. I would have killed it within 2 days. I'd lose
I mean,
interest.
I never got into it either, to be honest with you.
I've gotten into philosophical discussions with AI. It is fun to play with,
I haven't.
but yeah,
I mean, I've
do
used
so,
it
and
here
you
and
will
there.
see the fear.
Yeah, I mean, I've used it here and there, but like for the most part, it's literally.
You want to hear something crazy? I did use it. Remember, I had the poison ivy. I used it then too, and when I went into the doctor's office, I finally went into the doctor's office. And I kept track of everything. That was the nice thing. With Copilot, you can keep track of everything. And I knew exactly what they were going to order. I knew exactly what they were. I knew it all. When I went into it, they checked it, and he was like, okay, it is poison ivy. And then he said, we could do this or this. And I was like, I want this because I knew what it would do. I have issues with Hashimoto's, and I asked Chat. Now, keep in mind, when you plug all this into ChatGPT, it's storing it. None of it's private.
Right.
None of it's private. Remember
Which brings
that
up
always.
privacy issues as well, especially if people are like, we talk about HIPAA and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
If you're putting in your information about like, these are the physical issues that I'm having or whatever, guess what? You just put it out into the universe.
Yep.
And anybody can access that.
Yep.
I'm not sure exactly how, but they probably could figure it out if they wanted to.
And you can ask it. Now, the problem is I'll sometimes ask a question for someone and they think it's me. And I do a lot of stuff with the League of Women Voters. And it says, well, since you're with the League, you could do this. And I'm like, I said, I'm asking for a friend. Remember back in the day? I'm asking for a friend.
I'm asking for a friend.
Not me. A friend. But yeah, it's getting to that point where it knows me.
What if you were to open up a browser that is one of those, like,
In private?
Yeah, in private
I've
mode.
tried that. I wouldn't trust it, but I have done that because it can tell your IP address, and I don't know if it's recording your IP address with the question. So keep that in mind.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Anywho, Joanne, we've been talking for over an hour.
Oh, sorry.
No.
Oh, I forgot to ask to like, share, subscribe.
I was thinking the same thing.
I want to know if this was freaked out too much.
It just freaks people out.
Since you got freaked out that you're saying, no, I can't deal with this right now. I'm on overload.
I mean, I think in general, I'm on overload.
So we don't do things like this anymore?
No, I think it's important to
'Cause
have
we did the
conversations.
healthcare
I
one.
think there has to be fun conversations in all of this as well, but like, it's not. I'm just not always going to have the reaction that you might anticipate.
Oh, I wasn't anticipating anything.
Okay, it's like,
I was giving you my reaction to the whole
yeah.
thing.
I think of
And
like
my
I said,
outrage.
I see
This is
a
my
lot of outrage.
Yours was Taylor Swift. I saw a lot, and I didn't
No,
have
that
a
was-
reaction. I was like, oh. It was early in the morning too. I was like, wow.
There's certain things that I have a reaction to, but
Yeah.
yeah, we'll see how it goes. All right, well, like, subscribe if you listen to the end. Write in the comments the end. And
The end
yeah,
is near.
maybe next week we'll talk about demon hunters.
No, you clearly don't. Plus, we lost the wave to that one. A lot of that is over.
Well, you're telling me that their music is doing even better, but okay.
Love the music. Yeah, it went platinum. Well, I think that's why people love it. And the kids love it because they're kids, but the music is infectious. I'm going to send you the video.
Okay. Oh, by the way, I just want to let you know. I mean, granted, we could get off, but I could tell you this afterwards. But I'm just going to tell you now. Went to the Brevard Zoo today. They had closed down the kangaroo section that they
Because
had.
of robots.
Yes,
They got robots.
you know. And it was under construction. They decided to make a boardwalk through it. Still keeping it open to all the kangaroos and everything. And they finally opened it today. Not today, about a week ago. I was sick, so I didn't make it. But I went there with Wolfie today, and it was like, they're so cute. They just come on up. They're like, yo, dude.
Yeah.
How's it going?
dude.
There's 12 of them.
Give me food.
And there is one of them.
We had
her
one
name-
laying out when we walked in. It just was
Oh,
laying
it was
there,
hanging
and
out
it
on the
was like,
walkway. It was hanging out on the walkway. They're hopping along. Sometimes they block your way, and they're just like, no. And there is one named Lily that was raised by the zookeepers there. Anybody that's going there, Lily's a little aggressive.
Oh.
In the sense that, like, she knows that humans have
She was
food.
raised by robot humans.
And knows there's food. So she likes to go a-begging. Likes to go a-begging for food. Now, they have a new thing there that you can buy a bowl or a dish or something of food and bring it into there and feed them. But, like, I would imagine you might want to make sure that Lily has eaten already. Because Lily may cut a bitch to get to your food.
Well, will Lily be overweight, though? Because she doesn't have... Do they know how
I
to
don't
say,
know,
I'm
but-
full?
But she
We
did...
had a beagle who did.
She might have gotten up on a volunteer's shoulders.
Oh.
And the woman was probably like 70 and 80 pounds. And I was kind of ready to just kind of like very gently walk in front of it because I'm bigger than it. Even when it was like up on its tail, I was still bigger than it. Though I'm sure it's stronger than I am.
Oh, yeah, the legs.
But I was less likely to fall over than this 70-year-old woman. I actually talked to somebody there going, you might want to, I don't know if it's like a weight requirement or something.
Maybe.
And
They
they're
should
like,
be more
they
careful when
said,
they
we don't
raise these
have any,
things."
like, it's always Lily. I'm like, that bitch.
It could be a personality thing. I got in trouble for using bitch for women from someone. I'm not going
Lily
to
is a
mention.
kangaroo.
No. It was curse words shouldn't have gender. Because I used the word
Bitch.
that means, I used that and the other one for the man. And they said, should I tell you? Can I say it? We've cursed a lot on this show already.
Why not?
Dick. And it's like, oh, what a dick.
They say that word on like Tonight Show and stuff.
I thought it wasn't allowed.
I don't
'Cause
think so. I think
Bitch is
that one-
allowed, but dick I thought wasn't, and I always thought that was racist.
No,
But,
I think they...
not racist, sexist.
Oh, I was going to say, I think they do allow that one.
Okay.
I could have sworn they do because I was just talking to Bob about it because that episode where I said that there
Well,
was
there's-
an altar to someone's dick, and I said he's
Oh,
like,
right.
oh, they say that on the night shows. I was like, oh, okay.
They don't on Colbert. They always have to.
We'll have to look.
Anyway, I'll have to look,
Yeah.
and then I could take out off the adult thing on that one. I finally got it, so we can. Anyway, I'll talk to you.
I
later
always
about
put the
that.
adult things on. I just do it. It just makes life easier.
Yeah. Well, anyway, this person said it should be non-gendered, and we should be able to use that word for men and women. I was like,
Who's to
go
say
ahead.
we can't?
Oh, I don't. And
I've
it's
called
why-
a man a bitch before,
oh, good
and
for you.
I've certainly have
Because I said the problem is there's so many bad words for women. Why don't we use the female word for the guys rather than the guy word for the female? Because it's just giving the female another word. And no, that didn't go down well.
I do know that I don't like when they use the word P-U-S-S-Y. I don't know why I have to spell that one for a guy to show that they're not being strong. I'm like, do you have any idea how strong a pussy is? It's very. We have to push out a whole goddamn head. Like, it's strong.
A whole body.
A whole body.
a head.
I'm sorry, my kids' heads are huge. So,
Oh, mine too.
so like,
Well, the first
that's
one
all
was
I
a
think about.
C-section now.
The rest of
The
it
first
was
one was
easy
a
in
C-section
comparison.
because her head was so.
Right?
The second one I made it through and she tore everything up.
Right?
Yeah.
But the point is that like I'm pretty sure that area is really, really strong. Why are we using that to say that someone's weak? Stop it.
Stop it.
Just stop it.
Now I use the C word that's used for a woman, and I've been told that was worse than.
So okay, I'm gonna say this. All right. and I'm going to say the C word because this is really funny.
Okay. 'Cause I
not,
said it and-
I'm not a fan of saying it, right? I'm
Yeah, me
not a
neither.
fan until one day there is a creator, and I can't remember her full name. I know her by Florence. Her name is Florence. She's on IG. She's absolutely adorable. And she's like, she wears these, she's probably in her 20s, and she wears all these like very 70s vibes, kind of like outrageous, and she likes dancing to 70s music. And she's like, let me put on my makeup for the day. And she has her little British accent. She goes, I really like this color. It's very cunty. I'm like, and everything is cunty. And I'm like, I love that. Does it look cunty on me? I love that. And I'm like, I want to look cunty.
Good for her. Take back the word.
Right. So I mean, she is a bit of a feminist. I'll have to send you a link to her thing because she's adorable.
Okay.
But yeah.
I got a new phone though, and I haven't been able to get onto Instagram because I forgot my password. I have to figure it out. But there's another word. That's British. That's considered really bad. Twat. And I think
twat,
that's
yeah.
bad. How is that?
I think it's like cunt.
Oh,
It was the
doesn't
same.
sound that
I've heard
bad.
that before. I'm surprised you haven't heard it.
I heard it on Easy A. That's
Do
when
I
they
think
first
it's
started.
really, really funny that like we're like, okay, we're done with the podcast, and here we're going to talk about the
Curse
values
words.
on different curse words. This is amazing. I think we should have more conversations like this.
You realize
Florence
that this
Given,
Other than
Givin.
names, you might have mentioned her before because that
She's
sounds familiar.
adorable. I'm sitting. Look at this. Look at this chick. She's
Oh,
like,
that
do I
does
look
look
cunty?
Yes.
I'm like,
does.
you're adorable,
I love the purple and the pink.
right? I love her.
I
I like that. She goes, if people aren't saying who does she think she is, you're not going hard enough.
who does she think she is?
I'm like, I love you. Like every morning, she's got to do a dance. She doesn't care what she's
Oh
wearing.
my God. That's too hysterical.
I know, she's adorable.
I love how she has the legs almost
Yeah, and-
animalistic.
And I mean, like I said, she'll wear something cute. She loves to twerk. Why I'm following her? But like, no, I just love
I
her
always
aesthetic.
wanted to twerk,
Me too.
but I don't think I got
have
it.
sciatica.
That won't work.
I have sciatica, and I also have no booty.
I wanna know.
I have the flattest
I have a
ass.
booty.
You do have a booty. I would be twerking everywhere. I have no booty. I am flat.
But does the booty shake? How does it work? Is there muscle involved? It looks like it just goes up and down by itself.
I think you could learn it, Joanne. I think this should
I
be
don't
something
know.
you should do. Just learn it
See,
for your own
we're
purposes.
moving forward
I know, look.
despite
She
the
does
problem with
twerk.
humanity.
We give her a second. She's going to twerk. But like, because she always twerks. Like, check that out. Like,
Ah,
seriously.
yeah, yeah. Okay, she's moving the leg, but then
Yeah.
there's a little bit of the butt on its
Yeah,
own.
no, I
But that's
know,
not a
like-
lot of- I mean, there is muscle there, but not a lot. I mean,
Joanne, the glute muscle is the largest muscle in the body.
yeah, but there's also a lot of fat in there too.
Well, yeah, that's because we're
There's
women.
both.
If we like, come on, man, the booty shake. It's a
Now,
bounce.
my daughter, Allie, took belly dancing, and she showed me how to belly dance.
We should do belly dancing.
I'll show you.
Do you
I don't
remember
know if I
that
can do it. Let me see.
that time period where belly dancing was such a huge thing?
Yes. Wait. Well, she's going to be back in October. We can have her give us lessons.
All right. We have to get your girls on the podcast. When is she coming back?
End of October.
Oh.
In another week, I think.
What are you doing for Halloween?
Okay. I'm not sure.
Can I tell you what I'm
because-
doing?
Okay. I see why you ask now. I might be going to San Diego.
Oh, nice. No, we're probably going into EGAD, to the art district, and they have a dance party someone's making.
EGAD, they have a name now.
Yeah, yes. O'Galley Art District, EGAD.
I can't tell you how grateful I am. I know this is a weird thing that I'm telling you, but believe it or not, there's a connection. How grateful I am I own a house right now, because I don't know if I could afford. I think I wanted to live in EGAD. That's why I was thinking housing. But
I'm always looking at houses in EGAD
At the time, it was kind of poor when I was there.
There's
Not
still
anymore.
houses that
From what you tell me.
yeah. It's up and coming, that's for sure.
Okay.
But so anyways, I went to a Goodwill store and I found this. It's like almost completely lace, but almost like not embroidered, but it's like a lace dress, but it's a raspberry red, right? It's covered to here, finger down to fingertips. It's all embroidered, and then it has like a shell underneath it, right? The only thing is it comes down just below my knee. I wish it was floor length. And so I thought I could do a whole entire, like, wear the flowers, paint my face, maybe even my hands, and do a Dia del Muertos, and have like a sugar skull kind of like thing on my face and everything. And then I'm going to take maybe electrical tape and write on the back of my dress, I prefer my ice crushed.
Okay.
Well, it's
There's a lot
either
to
that.
unpack there. I don't know what that means.
I mean, it's Mexican, Joanne. It's called cultural
get it.
appreciation, not appropriation.
That I don't mind. And I
Yes.
agree about the appreciation thing.
I definitely appreciate that culture. And
Yeah.
so
and I
what
think
would
the
be more
people who
appreciative than to
complain
say
are
that I want
only
to
a small
crush.
percentage. Yeah. Well, I didn't get the ice is crushed. I was like,
Well, it was either
Why do
that
you
or
want ice
fuck
crushed? I
ice.
like it crushed too,
I was
but-
going to put fuck ice on my ass, but then I sat there thinking, if
No,
I'm
not on
going
your
to
ass.
I put it on my ass, but it's pretty flat, so it should be readable.
no, because that's not what I'm thinking. Because then it looks like rape, and I don't like that. Why the ass? They can fuck you from
Just
behind.
because that's probably, it's flat and it's the largest space that I thought of, but okay.
the largest space. No, go with crushed
But
ice. I like
writing on
I-
there,
it
I
just-
prefer my ice crushed.
that. My brain. I prefer my ice crushed. Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
and then
go with
and
that.
then walk around with a little martini glass, or
Oh.
or margarita glass.
What day is Dia de Muertos?
That's usually the day after, but
After what?
after
Halloween.
Halloween. But
I forgot we were talking about Halloween.
there's events going on, I think, next weekend and the weekend afterwards, and I was like, maybe I'll do it. I have to get flowers for my hair.
I think that is a fabulous. Yeah, I like that idea. I also wish I could join you.
I also know there's a protest going on next week, and I was thinking, wouldn't it be great for me to like dress up like that and show up?
This up.
A no
coming
King's Day
weekend.
on the 18th.
Yeah. I know some people going.
But
Yeah.
I mean, wouldn't that seem appropriate to dress up
Oh yeah.
for that
Yeah,
too?
yeah. And fun. You will get attention. Just if you go to the protests like that, you will get attention. Which is good. See, you're doing something.
Well, I mean, I do things, but I can't focus on it on a regular. It's too
Right.
much. It hurts my brain.
That's
and
fine.
it stresses me out, and I get
Yes.
chest pains.
I get that. And this is just
And then I start to feel like, what's the point? And then I don't want to do anything, and I don't want to move forward, and I
Take
don't want to
some vitamin
dream and
D.
aspire for anything, because what's the point?
now that has stopped me because there was many things that I wanted to do, but it's not just the robots that are freaking me out. It's just the way the country is going lately. And because I had a plan, we've been discussing where we want to retire to, and I wanted to retire near a national park, and we were discussing things like that, but because of the craziness that has been going on, there's a part of me that starts to think, okay, let's leave the country. Let's leave the country. But I will say this. I will have moments where I need to leave the planet because I don't think any place is safe. And then it's like, no, Joanne, we can't leave the planet yet. We need to create robots to make us spaceships to go to...
But if we have those robots, then they might take over the world. It's a catch-22, Joanne. It's a catch-22.
It will be Hal, and Hal will
I know,
say,
right?
"We must do this."
But
And Hal didn't have arms and legs, and he still fucked with the astronauts.
I'm going to end the podcast on that.
Has there ever been any robot movie? There has been books. Any robot movie where things turned out well?
Lost
Star
in
Trek.
Space.
No, because the robot was a killer there.
I thought the robot saved them. Okay, what do I know?
In the the updated version they
Star
do.
Trek, though, is the biggest one, and
Star Trek.
and Star Wars.
Data. Oh, yeah, but those robots are nothing compared to what they're building today. I was watching Star Wars the other day. That's what made me think of it. And I'm watching RTD2. And like, who made a robot like that? It's so impractical. Why would you make a robot that has a language of its own? I mean, it does with machine language, but sound-wise. And you have to learn their language. Who does that?
I don't know. A plot twist.
I mean, look at CP30 and then look at Optimus. That
I mean, it was
galaxy
made in the
far, far
70s.
away kind of sucks.
It wasn't. Joanne, I'm stopping the podcast. Say goodbye.
Okay, sorry, bye.
Bye.